If you consider yourself to be one who's on a self-help journey, moving from any fears or blocks or past pain, maybe healing from dating a narcissistic type ex, covert narcissist, abuse and trauma, and maybe you're awakening, and maybe you have awakened, and maybe you find yourself scrolling through more YouTube videos or TikTok, searching for more answers, right? So the thing about this is, and I want to give you a key to moving forward with your life, is sometimes and like myself, I too have been on a self-help journey and have done a lot of inner work and healing, and have looked at my shadow and shined the light. I've stepped through the fire, and it burns when sometimes you have to look through the shadow and look at areas in your life that you don't necessarily like about yourself, areas that you've been wounded and hurt. However, through this process, yes, I've come to the place where I'm now sharing and expressing the outcomes and how to help others on their journey. And the one thing I learned was, if you sit around and you just keep doing all this work, when am I going to be healed? When is it finally going to happen? Let me just watch another video. We end up getting addicted to the epiphanies. Scrolling through Instagram, you see little quotes, spiritual quotes, or things that made sense, that are in alignment for you of how you're feeling, and they just resonate. And it's like, oh yeah, look, yep, I agree with that one. Like scrolling, right before you go to bed or on your breaks or whatever, right? It's like, oh yeah, 100%. That's exactly right. Yep. And you're just validating the feelings that you have about whatever situation you've experienced. So have a coffee with me or tea. It's 6 a.m. I woke up super early. I'm Ventzi. I'm your divine feminine empowerment and spiritual awakening coach. Let's get it. So the thing about this scrolling is that we're addicted to the payout of the validation of the victimization of it, of the pain. Like finally someone can hear our screams. So there's a part of you that's kind of addicted to it. And that's why you get kind of stuck in this loop of endless healing. And it's time to start integrating this work into your life, into this new consciously expanded life of yours, now that you've experienced contrast. And anything that has ever happened to you, look, it doesn't make anything right, what anybody's ever done to you that's been negative in the past. It's a lot easier to forgive when you start to understand that things have happened for you. And on a higher level, consciousness is happening through you. You asked for this. You asked for contrasting events, because without it, you'll never experience what real love is like, because you'll never be able to find a healthy relationship, because you'll never have the contrast to decide what you do prefer in your reality. So everything is always a benefit to you if you can stay in the vibration of the gratitude that it's showing you contrast. And that's good. However, having the epiphany and the breakthrough isn't enough. Time to start integrating this work. Maybe you do download that dating app and just put yourself out there in a new and improved way. More vulnerable, more boundary setting, and being comfortable with setting boundaries and expressing your needs. Because I found out I was dating a covert narcissist, one of my exes, for 2 years. And whatever I did was never enough. Right? And it got a little wild. This is the type of video I want to make today. Either way, though, I didn't know how to set boundaries. I didn't know. And she would always twist things and pin it on me and make it my fault. And whenever I brought up something about her behavior, it was like, nope, it's because you're doing this that I'm reacting this way and you deserve it. And it's like, whoa, no, I don't deserve any of that. I actually deserve for you to hear my feelings and to like validate and make incremental adjustment within our relationship so we can move together. Had I realized that, right, instead of like trying to fall back to it, it's like, oh yeah, no, you're totally right. It's my fault because I'm a people pleaser and I want your validation and approval, and I have a worthiness wound, which I did, and I did want validation and approval, right? And people pleasers, it's kind of manipulative. It is manipulating. It's stemming from a worthiness wound. Sometimes you don't know that you're doing it, but it's like, if I do this for you, you'll like me. If I just shut up and I play small, you're gonna like me and you won't get rid of me because I didn't get mom and dad's approval growing up, that I'm gonna go ahead and people please to the end of the earth until like I can't fucking do it anymore. And then you start going on the self-help journey and stuff. And then my point is, though, you gotta step through the fire. You gotta move past the fear. And it's not like just let go of the fear. Feel the fear. It's there. It's a real emotion. Feel it. Don't ever suppress your feelings. Having courage is having the fear and doing it anyway. Because throughout this whole self-help journey and all these epiphanies you've had, all these breakthroughs, and I hope you've been taking notes. I hope you found good people online to help you understand it's time to step through the fire. It may burn, but you can always go back to hiding in your house and reinvent yourself. You can always go back to reprogramming and scrolling through your phone. It's time to start integrating some of this work. And knowing that you can start setting healthy boundaries, showing up vulnerably with who you are. And if you don't need to think and be in a constant stuck loop of like, if I express the real me, and I love Taylor Swift, I personally like, she's a great artist. She's a great artist. I'm not like, I don't love her. I'm just saying this like metaphorically or whatever. In story, like if I love Taylor Swift and this person that I like is like the perfect person I want to date and they hate Taylor Swift, am I gonna like hide and not let them know that? Because if I tell them I love Taylor Swift, they don't want to be with me? Like, no. You stop doing stuff like that. You start showing up to your fullest expression of self, and you tell that person, well, hey, I respect that you have an opinion about this artist. I tend to actually love this artist. And then sometimes you got to ask the difficult questions that are scary because it might repel people because you're afraid of losing someone that may be the perfect marriage you want. Sometimes you got to ask them, is this going to be an issue for you that I love Taylor Swift and I like to listen to Taylor Swift, even though you don't like Taylor Swift? Can we make incremental adjustments to each other where maybe there are times in the house where I can play Taylor Swift and you're cool with it? And I'm sure there's going to be artists that I don't like that you like that I don't want to listen to. So we can find convenience for both of us within our inconvenience. Right? Incremental adjustment is the epitome, I hope that's the right word, the backbone of healthy relationships, romantic and non-romantic. So just scrolling through your phone and validating your feelings consistently is not enough. You got to start putting yourself out there. You got to start knowing that you're safe now, that you've created this plethora of variety of things you've learned about online from probably other wonderful coaches or things that you've been seeing. And I knight thee, I knight you to go ahead and go through the fire. Like I said, you can always go back, but the only way you'll ever find out how much you've evolved is by stepping through the fire. You gotta fuck around and find out. And the more you fuck around, the more you find out. Back to the drawing board. Maybe this one didn't work out. But you can't keep hiding because the person that's gonna love you for you, they're going to, and this is for everybody, like they're gonna love the real you. So hiding Taylor Swift, you're already showing them a fake version of you, and it's like they'll never get to know who you really are. And it's like it's because of that worthiness, validation, approval, fear of being alone wound that you're afraid of showing up as your true self. That's why it's so powerful to learn how to be alone and be okay with yourself alone. You're going to be good either way. And start loving every single aspect of yourself and being strong in your frame with who you really are in this world. Because then it doesn't matter. You will not conform to other people's opinions of you, what they want in a perfect partner. They'll have these boxes checked off and you're going to start trying to fit their boxes. Like I did that with that ex. That shit sucked. And then it's like after that relationship, I just start like reinventing myself and like actually I had to get rid of all the stuff I was picking up from her. At one point, like she was claiming all sorts of like psychological things to me, like gaslighting me. I got a psychologist and a therapist, and like I was none of those things that she was claiming. And by the way, I'm like realizing, where's her psychology degree to be like, where's her PhD to be making these claims so I could conform to her and like belittle myself. It's funny because we actually at one point had like a similar job at a same company. And I don't mean this like boast or brag, although like that job required a lot of communication skills and advanced sales skills for the level that I was at. And she never reached that point. Like, not to toot my own horn, I got really good at that job. And it was funny because like the same person that didn't reach my level was telling me my communication skills sucked. And I started to buy into it. I started to believe the narrative because I could never communicate to her my problems, and it was always my fault. And no matter how nice I said it, it was, your tone sucks. Oh no, you said it this way and I couldn't handle it. Or like, no, it's your fault for doing it like that. It's like, dude, how are you like if you have a partner who's not willing to sit there with you and try to seek to understand you and what's going on within your relationship because they love you and they actually want to make this work, I would start preparing to leave if I were you. That's what I've learned. It's like, that's a red flag. That's a huge red flag of someone who's not interested in actually healing or creating a healthy relationship environment with you. So again, we get hurt by people in our lives, romantic and non-romantic, and it's about integrating how to start having deep and meaningful connections with others. And that starts with you being and showing up as your true self and stepping through that fire and knowing that you don't have to feed into it, because if you know there's a worthiness wound or a fear of being alone wound, that's what's going to make you conform to other people. If you can let go of that, you can start being strong with yourself and you will attract people who love you for you. Okay? So, time to start integrating and not getting stuck in this contrasting, oh yeah, validate me, baby, let's get it, you know? Like, take a challenge. Let me give you a challenge. I challenge you. Maybe start that dating profile. Maybe, I don't know, do something that like involves talking to someone. You know, like do something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone. And so what? You get rejected. Somebody tells you, no, stop talking to me. Okay, thank you for telling me that. I appreciate and respect your space. On to the next. Right? It's like sales. It's like some will, some won't. So what? You still have a duty and a job to fulfill to yourself, to live to your fullest expression and share the things that you want in life, and find people that are going to love you for you. Now I'm out, and I was thinking kind of like go to the gym and feel like a gym crush, like, you know, like maybe get the courage to go talk to them. And you know what's better than trying to figure out what to say to them? You can literally go up to them and be as honest as fuck. AF, right? like you can literally be like, hey, I've been thinking about what to say to you because I find you really attractive. And then you got to have a call to action with it. And I would like to know if maybe you want to get coffee or talk, or, you know, you can be awkward and weird and silly. Who cares? Show up. Show up authentic in the moment. Don't try to be strong if you're not. Don't try to be something that you're not. Because what's gonna be more attractive? Like, think about it. Like you go up to someone and put your hand on there on like the wall and on the workout equipment, and you're like, oh yeah, my name is blah blah blah, and then, oh yeah, I've been seeing you work out. Do you work out a lot? Like, yeah, I've been like, checking you out. Yo, what the fuck? That, or like, hey, I've been admiring you, and it seems like you're dedicated to your body and meaningful, and you have discipline, and I like that. I find that attractive. Like, those are all real fucking things that you actually probably think. Like, why are we always trying to like silver tongue people? Like, like, it's like, get fun and have a creative way of expressing how you act, like what you actually think. Like, that's fucking attractive. The world is tired of inauthentic BS, like fuckboy Kyle and spiritual fuckboy Chad. Let me hit you up at like fucking 5:55 p.m. Oh, dude, the universe is aligned. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, step through it and just give it a try. And if you get rejected, so what? There's another fear. There's another worthiness wound. Oh well, at least you stepped through it, and you should celebrate that. The fact that you even went to go talk to someone. So, start integrating the work, knowing that you can be safe, and start taking notes on and start doing the work. That's why it's called work. That's why it's called inner work. It's like you're looking within the shadow, the aspects of you that might hurt if you reopen them, and there's a fire there that's shining light, and if you touch it, it may burn, because it's like those are areas that you have not fully processed, right? Those feelings still harbor in the darkness, and all that shame and trauma grows in the dark the longer you let it be there. So start taking notes on how to, better yourself, and don't wish for things to be easier. Wish for you to be better in your life. Because the better you get at doing these things, the more comfortable you are with showing up in a strong way with who you really are, the easier things get. Because guess what? This whole thing is a spiral. It's going to be new levels, same freaking devils. Okay? And like I said, I think there's a deep part of all of us where we get kind of addicted to the pain and the contrast, because like that's why we're here on Earth experiencing contrast to expand our consciousness at all times. Like, we reincarnate here on Earth, and even coming from Source, God, Creator, guy with lobsters coming out of his ears, whatever you want to call a divine power, like, you are that divine power. Fragmented down. This is the universe experiencing itself. This whole tantra experience. It's like a cosmic metaphysical orgasm that Source is having. And it's doing it to expand its own consciousness by living through us and all these limitations. And by the way, just letting you know, you can't prove consciousness in anybody else besides you. You're the only conscious actual being you have proof of. Like, you cannot look through someone else's eyes in your state currently and prove that they have consciousness. This could all just be a simulation, like simulation data or whatever. I just spilled coffee over here on my desk. All right. I think that's all I got. So let me know in the comments how I helped you and assisted you, and if I helped, and maybe there's something you want to know more about. Have a very motivational, inspirational, alchemizing, transformative day, you beautiful soul. Like and subscribe and hit that notification button so that way you're notified when more of my content does come out. All right, love and light vibration out. Bye.